They just want somebody to protect them, and they think the governments protect them. That's why they follow. They think the hospitals are good for them. That's why they want the hospitals, because if they get sick, they want somebody to heal them. They just want to follow, like I said.
People 100 years ago, people used to heal themselves with the plants. They used to heal themselves with prayer. They used to heal themselves with energy. Like you. But I think this is sorry. That's all right.
If you like, this is a whole something that you can feel around the world, that people are starting to acknowledge these things and say, yeah, we have other ways, alternative ways, natural ways. It's not new. It's not only from Corona time, but in Corona time it has only been more like emphasized.
Yeah, I agree. And I think because I was raised with somebody who came from communism and from that era of, 1930s and 40s, if I didn't learn that, I probably wouldn't have been able to see so clearly, so young and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what they want to do, don't they? They want to remove, and they want to erase all of that historical memory that has been transferred down from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. Like they've proven that things that happened up to 7 generations above you, you still feel pain from your family lineage through your blood. They've proven it. And they just want us to forget all of this stuff. They just don't want us to have any memory. But we have a memory. Like, they're going to just have to wipe the earth if they don't think that people are not going to question what they're doing.
So you remember...
That's why people are starting to drink water from clay pots.
You remember I was saying there's like good players? There was a TV show or a movie that just came out, I want to say last year. And it was based off of the law of attraction, the mind over the matter thing. And I noticed something with my son. I don't know if it's been passed down or whatever, but I noticed he has the things that I have, right? And the way it came out was the same way it came out for me. I would get super emotional for something when my grandfather spoke to me. It really resonated, right? And it happened with my kid when he was like 7, and he's like, I don't know why I'm crying. I'm not mad. I'm not upset, but I don't know why. And that's when it clicked, and I was like, he has it. So I've been trying to like explain it to him. And this movie came out, and it basically is talking about it. So I feel like those people are the good players. So I had to do everything in my power to get them over here to watch the friggin' movie. And right after the movie, the same things that were happening, and believing in it, it like actually happened outside. And he's like, you're a hippie, you're this, you're that. So I know they're already trying to like deconstruct what I was doing. And now it's at the point where I can't even communicate with him, because it's nothing but anger, because his mother doesn't understand it. We don't live in the same house. So I've been struggling with that like hardcore.
Yeah, you need to look at the other side. You're not seeing, you're only seeing one dimension of that. You need to look on the other side and be courageous to accept what it is that you see when you look over there. I don't know what that answer is, but you will when you see it. You'll look and you'll see it. You're only looking up with one side.
Thank you.
Wow, what a great conversation tonight, Roy.
I was just going to say that I would have never guessed that joining a no-COVID vaccines group would have led to listening and at times be part of such profound conversations about our inner souls and connection to the universe and each other. It's absolutely fascinating and humbling to be a part of this. Absolutely wonderful.
Wow.
Well, that's good, Alex, because we just come in when we can, and there will always be somebody in this group to encourage conversation, to encourage the love. It's all about love is a white light, and that is the only thing that is keeping me positive, because white light, as long as there is light and the light shines on the darkness can't prevail. The only thing they can do is hide in the dark even more. So we have to keep shining our lights. You say to kids all the time, shine your bright light, be the best person you can be, keep shining bright. That's what we all have to do. It doesn't matter how old we are. We have to keep shining the light, and it doesn't matter in what form it is, a kind gesture, a kind word, or looking at something, accepting something in yourself. We just have to keep our lights on. And because when when you go to a rock concert and someone's got their light on their phone, and it's one tiny light in this sea of darkness, and then someone else switches on their phone, and someone else switches on their phone, and then all of a sudden there's this incredible light in the stadium. And that's what we are. We are a single light, and this is why I think this collective consciousness does have something very special about it. I don't know what it is, but we got to just keep turning the light on, and we got to get other people to turn their light on, because the more light we have, the less the darkness can reign, because there'll be no room for darkness. Where's the darkness going to hide when the lights are all on? When you walk into a dark house, you turn the lights on, the darkness is on. And
wait for the light to go away.
Well, we can't let that happen. And we come into these groups, and we are little lights, all of us. I'm a small light, I'm a tiny light. I don't know about half the shit all of you are talking about tonight.
Almost 30,000 lumen LED.
What's that?
No, I get what you're saying, but it's like something tells me to, like, I can't explain it. I don't talk about any of this to anybody. I don't talk about anybody, anything. But for whatever reason, it comes to me to, like, say something, and I'm hoping for the best, but I know that I'm gonna get something in return for whatever reason, and I'm super super grateful, like, for Luke, for all the people in this group, and everything they contribute.
Yeah.
But that's what it's all about, Sweetwater. We just got to come together. That's what they don't want us to do. That's why they lock us down. That's why they put us in our homes. That's why they make us afraid of everything. Because they know that when we are together, when our human spirit comes together, it is all powerful. That's why they want to keep us separated, and they want to create the fear, and they want to create this fear with something that we can't see.
It's all about fear and separation.
That's right. But you know what? You can't see love. You feel love, right? You can't see fear, but you feel fear. So we have to start changing what we feel, and that's where we get, when we go back to what you believe in. You are what you think. You are what you think. And then what you think, you bring it around you. You got to, anybody that's out there thinking that they can't do this, or they're no good at that, or they're a self-doubt, or, they're never going to be good at anything, or there's always somebody better than me. You got to stop that thinking. We've all got our own special something to bring to this life. That's why our spirits are in these bodies. I tell my kids, like, I send my kids to a denomination school here where I live, but I say to them, they go, oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't exist. And I'm like, you know what? I said, they're all stories, and what the stories tell you is that there is a human spirit. And I tried to illustrate it when one of our dogs died, and I said, can you see how peaceful this dog is now? This dog is not in any pain anymore. It's not sick anymore. It is just a body, and the spirit has gone, and there's no pain in the body anymore. And I said, it's like our bodies. Our bodies, our physical bodies are like renting a room. Like you rent a room in a house or in a hotel. Our spirits come in and they're born. And it's like they rent us out for whatever our purpose is, and then it leaves the body.
So,
Whether people, I'm not into, like, I don't want to say, I'm never about one religion is better than the other, but every prayer is an intention of something higher than what we are. So we are actually part of that.
so what I'm having like a problem with is, how do I put this? Like, I have given up, since March 23rd, I have literally given up my entire life, like, dedicated to all of this, like, trying to get people to see Facebook is censoring, like, all these things. I'm talking money, I'm talking, like, everything you could possibly think of, and just throwing it all away for whatever reason, and I can't figure out why. Like, why is it...
Me too.
Me too, man. Me too.
I let my business go, and she's still got broken.
Oh my god, I can't believe you guys just said
I don't know
that.
about you guys, but I feel like this is the reason I'm here. I'm literally here to wake people up.
You're dead serious? You guys, like, gave up everything? This is...
I literally have been spending like 10 hours a day. Like, I have given up every hobby that I used to have to do this.
Everything.
That's so crazy.
But why have you done that? Why
Because I feel this is the most meaningful thing. It is so much more important than every other thing.
That's three of us. Our lives are at stake. Our lives are at stake. Well said. Whoever said that, well said and well done. Our lives are at stake. We really are in the end game. People need to really, even awake people need to see how serious this is. This is really, really serious. So well done on what you said, and well done on what you're doing. Thanks.
Yeah, and so then you guys understand how hard it is to, because you gotta pay, you still gotta pay these fucking pointless bills and provide for the kid and all these things, child support and food. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I'm eating rice, bro, for real. I'm eating rice and, like, finding ways to get funds, but the only reason I know how to do that, which is so messed up, is through being addicted to drugs years ago and knowing how to find ways to make money to get high. But now I'm not getting high. I'm surviving. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up to know that.
You're getting
Well,
high
you're
on
lucky
life.
you don't have to provide for your son too. He's living, I think, away, you said?
Yeah, that's
So-
my biggest battle is there's things that how do I explain this? Like, the whole casino thing and trying to go out in the world and see what was going on, like it was my mission. I won, like, the last year I won like $20,000-$30,000, and that's what made me be able to pay all the things I had to pay. Like, that has never happened to me before in my life, but it was because I was putting my mind to dedicating to this, because I felt everybody's pain and I didn't want people to feel pain. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just so crazy. But now it's getting down to the nitty gritty, and I got like nothing left. But I know I have to focus on this, and I'm like trying to maintain life, right? Maintain my emotion, but do whatever something's telling me to do. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is.
My story is exactly the same. My story.
Yeah, same as me, dude.
Yeah, same here. Can I just say something? Can I just say something? It happened today. I was very disheartened, but I am part by these groups. I went to a petrol garage. I put £15 in the petrol. Long story short, I walked in with my snood to go along to get along. I pulled it up. I had it around my neck. I pulled it up. I got to the counter, and by the time I got to the counter, other people come in behind me. And the lad behind the counter said, "No, I can't serve you. You need to go back and go this way." Well, these counters were parallel to the counter, so it was like a snake. He wanted me to go back. Well, we stickers were on the floor. I turned around and I said, "I'm not doing this nonsense." I pulled my mask down and I put the card in, and I waited for his shitty attitude to change. And I was staring him in the eyes, like daring him. I didn't say anything after this to this point. And he put it, and he come out with a few crappy comments. I put the number in, walked to the door. The next person up to the counter, I thought I had their support. Right, so this is a warning to everybody. I thought I had everybody's support because they heard me, they saw me. I did actually go back to do it, and I went, "Oh, I'm not doing this nonsense." And that's when I did that. And so I nearly bumped into someone doing it. And as I got to the door, I thought, well, I've got the support. That's what I thought. And I said, you're loving this power, isn't you? You and but I didn't get anything else out. And they all supported him. And I left with my tail between my legs, seriously angry, like I posted earlier, and seriously confused. It's amazing how bad it is out there, in my opinion, anyway, where I am. It didn't work. It made me sink into the ground, basically.
Yeah, but Nico, you did it for yourself and it worked for you. It worked.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, that's powerful, because I'm the type of person that will just. I'm not somebody, like, I was a very outspoken short kid growing up, but I try to avoid situations now, and now I just don't say a word and just do what I'm gonna do. And when everybody says something, I just don't listen, because I know what my capabilities are, and I don't want to bring my vibration to that. So I commend you on still doing it, and then now coming here and talking about it and letting it out of your system.
Yeah.
Thanks for what you said. Yeah, thanks for what you said. But to be honest with you, I'm on my own, and I'm sick of being looking around. I just want someone. I just want an ally. Do you know what I mean? Not just online. I appreciate. I'm so grateful for this. But I really have. I thought I had at least one of those people in my palm of my hand. It's Paul. That's why I turned around and said what I said. And he was the first person to nod his head as if to say shut up, and he laughed, and I thought, oh no, then it all piped up. That was it. So I appreciate what you said, everybody. Yeah, it wasn't courage, it was anger. It was pure, it was visceral anger. I couldn't stop myself. That is nonsense. And then, yeah.
Don't you think though that in that time there were a lot of people who were too afraid to speak up, but it doesn't mean they weren't thinking and feeling and looking at you and thinking, shit, I wish I could do that.
It's not the impression of it. It wasn't a big petrol garage. It was one of the old provincial petrol garages, so it wasn't a huge one. It was actually quite a small one. Well, not tiny, but small. But no, it's not the impression I got. I'm sorry, because I don't want that part of it.
Can I ask you something, can I?
Yeah,
Well, he says it's like this is like the end game, right? And have you ever considered moving physically, like meeting new people
I have
and
moved.
actually moving?
I moved town in the first lockdown. I was moving anyway, and they kept putting it back, and I ended up getting the phone begging to get out of this. It's a town, and it's now a city. It's Brighton on the southeast coast. I moved from there into a provincial town inland, which I'm happy at. I'm okay with that. I'm more than happy, in fact. But apart from everybody's going along with it here, when I go back to visit Brighton, they are increasingly, day after day, getting in. They're awake, in my opinion, anyway.
Well, that's good. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was you that had to be that light. Now that I think about it, like, just because you didn't get the impression from them, people still think about things that we talk about here, and then you go about your day. You're going to eat dinner, cook dinner. You get thoughts in your brain about what was said. So don't be discouraged that you didn't plant the seed, because I truly believe you planted the seed. And now that you just said that, maybe you were meant to be that light to go to this other place to plant the seeds.
You know what, because you were the first light to turn on in that dark night. You're the first star to shine. It takes
The candle
one
in the
person.
dark.
Yeah, that's
The
one.
one.
People that I speak to go, oh, who's masterminded this whole thing that's going on around the world, and look how powerful they are and everything. And I turn around to these people and I say, you know what, if it takes one man to plan this disaster, it will take one man to conquer it.
I go along what you said. I keep saying this will only be brought down by an event that none of us, that side, including that side, and like the first person that got me to speak, that spoke about they've given up everything to concentrate on this, I also am quite, I'm very awake. I've been on this for years, so I knew it was coming. I knew, anyway, I'm on the same page as him, I think. So I know enough to know what's going on, but I believe, I hope, and I actually pray that this event will happen, and it will blindside them, and it will blindside us, because it will be one of those ones that, because we we can't see it. It's like, how do you get out of this? It's the ultimate perfect trap. They've been planning this for years. So it's got to be an event, and it's got to be some sort of divine intervention. And I just believe it'll be one of those little events that will just get bigger than we get. Oh God, they'll take their eye off the ball. I hope and I pray.
Who would have thought in a non-COVID group that we'd be talking about these kinds of issues? So people are going to find each other when they're ready and how they need to find each other. And everything happens for a reason in our life. And we don't understand what it is until we have hindsight. So I think whatever we share, whatever stories we share and how we do it, I don't even think we should question why we've said it, because the reason you've said it is because it's the right time to say it. We can't be too conscientious about it. We just have to feel. We have to feel that we're all moving forward together. It's so important. So important.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
What's up, my beautiful people?
That's awesome that you said that, because that's what I'm meaning, right, when I'm saying things, but I'm not like really articulating it like that. So thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I came into the group and I listened first, right? Obviously, we all came here for the same reason, but I listened first, and then when I started noticing these things, I was like, all right, now I'm going to speak up. So now I go with it when I get that feel. It's like I'm learning at the same time, but I already know. So it's weird, but you're exactly right. So I'm going with the feeling, and now I just said that, and then what's his name said it, and then the other one said it, and so that's awesome. Yeah. It's totally awesome.
Let reality speak through you. Be the hand of God, as the Indians say.
Yeah.
Shiva's limb.
Luke,
Isn't that what they say?
You're freaking awesome, dude, with that voice, man. Because I'm telling you right now, between you, R2D2, and a couple other people, it's like a magnet. I don't know how to explain it. For me personally, it's like a magnet is the only way I could explain it, like that I'm being directed.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to hear my story? I got one I haven't shared yet, and it's pretty out there.
Go for it.
It happened to me a long time ago now. And I met this lady at a market, and she pretty much walked up to me, and she said, she was an older lady, and she had oh my God, this young woman she was with was just beautiful, like a Amazonian, strong, healthy woman with this long brown hair. She was just gorgeous, and she had this aura about her. Anyway, so this older lady came up to me and she goes, "Oh, I have arrived," and I didn't know what she meant, And I hang out with my mum quite a bit, and she's a bit of a dude, my mum, and she said to me, what is this lady talking about? I said, I don't know what she's talking about. Anyway, she started talking to me about a few things, and she invited me up to her place. And I thought, she said, I think I need to do some energy work on you. And I was like, what on earth is this energy work? Anyway, the beautiful lady, the younger lady that she was with, she had told me that she had cured her from all the cancers in her body just through light frequency. And it took about 9 months. And this young lady was really sick, And she said, but she's healed now. And we didn't use any chemicals on her body whatsoever. And I was like looking at this young woman and I thought, my God, you're just looking at her. She was just this picture of health. She was unbelievable. Anyway, so this lady said, I'd like to do some energy work on you. And I just thought, yeah, okay, I'll go. Anyway, where I live, everything's probably Luke and Maddicus, you know, we all live in the same place. Everything's really far apart. And I was driving. I was like in the car for 45 minutes, and then I was getting up to this kind of bushland area, and I couldn't see anything. There's no more houses, and then I'm on this gravel road, and I think, oh my God, where am I going? Am I ever going to make it home? And I hadn't told my family where I was going or anything. And I thought, wow, you know, I'm the kid that has just done everything that I shouldn't have done. Nobody knew where I was. And so I parked the car and I get in the middle of the bush and I get out of my car and this lady comes out of a house and she had like this like homestead style house and she had this like workshop. And she said to me, we're going to go in there. That's where I healed this friend of hers. And I said, oh, yeah. And she said to me, how are you feeling? I said, yeah, I'm a bit nervous really because I'm not really quite sure where I am or what's going to happen. And she said, well, I'm not going to harm you. I just need to do this energy work on you. And I said, okay. So I laid down on this bench. It was like a bit like a chiropractor's kind of bench or a masseur's bench. It was up quite high. And she said, I'm not going to touch you or do anything. And she started walking around me. And she had her hands about 30 centimeters away from my body. And she started to sing. And it wasn't like an opera. It wasn't words or anything. It was just sound. And she would change her sound as she walked around my body. And she did this for about 10 or 15 minutes. And I thought, okay, well, I'm here now. I might as well go with it. And this sound in her voice became so clear. And it wasn't because she had a very nice voice, but I think it was the frequency in her voice, the vibration in her voice. And as she was singing, she kept her hands moving over me. And I didn't know what this lady was doing. Anyway, I closed my eyes and I thought that there was sun or some light that I was going to see if I looked out the window, because as I'm lying down, I'm looking back and I could see this window. And it was like overcast day, but I saw this light. And I thought, what on earth is happening to me? Anyway, I don't know why, I stayed with it. And all of a sudden she said to me, if you want to sing, you start singing too. And I'm quite a shy person, and I thought, okay, so I started singing. But I wasn't singing with her. She was doing her own thing, and I started singing my own thing. And then this crazy thing happened. It was almost like the heavens opened up, and I had this white energy light coming into my chest. And I couldn't believe it. I opened my eyes and I could see it. And I got frightened. I closed my eyes and I'm singing and I'm like, what is going on here? I had no idea what was happening to me. And this white bolt of lightning just was heaving into my chest. And I thought, wow, what am I feeling here? And then she finished. And she touched my hand and she said, my work is done. And I said to her, what happened to me just now? And she said, all I need to say to you is you need to go and find your essence. And when you find your essence, you'll understand. And I said to her, what I felt was that I had touched millions and millions of people through this energy. Like I could physically touch millions of people's hands, and I was connected to every single one of them. I don't know who they were, but I was connected. And she said to me, don't think about that. just find your essence. And today, I still don't know what it is that happened to me. I don't understand why it happened to me. Maybe I will in the future. I have no idea. And that happened to me about 19 years ago now. And I still don't know what it was. But when I come into a group like this, and I think we are all connected, we have to keep connecting. And I just wonder if this white light that I had in my chest, it was like if I had to describe how big it was maybe 50 centimeters, like round. It was like this massive thing. And I can't tell you what it means, but what I understand from it is that we have power and we are all connected. So if we talk, I think it's the best thing that we can do. And I still don't know what it means. And that's God honest truth. I don't know what happened to me that day.
Me.
That's my
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. I've just sent you a message with a book that I've read about 5-6 years ago called Healing with Love from Leonard Lavkov. Which actually, I mean, if you get that book and read it, it's going to resonate with what you just said.
Okay.
It's an amazing book. The guy was a dentist, and he had a vision one night out of the blue. Something told him in his mind that you've got to heal with love, and he saw this dental practice start using that. I mean, following that voice, and he's been healing shitloads of people just by the way that woman did as well. You know, not even touching, just putting the hand. It's an amazing book.
Yeah, I've got a book
you
too.
know, I never saw
It's
this
like
woman
same sort of thing.
Why'd you say that?
I found this book. I found Paramahansa Yogananda, Man's Eternal Quest. It's freaking amazing. It's a series of speeches from the 40s. So best book I've written.
Can you send me that,
written by far. Hey?
Can you send me the name of that?
Yeah, I found it. I found the PDF. So
I just want to say,
I was going to send you out of money.
you're not going to find the answer outside of you. This is like an internal experience thing. Like, so what I would suggest to you is learning like whatever meditation technique resonates with you and practicing that, because I've had a similar experience and I was looking for the answer outside of me for my whole life, and I couldn't figure it out. But as soon as I just sat down and like started doing all that kind of stuff, then it became like self-evident what was going on and how that actually fits into the big picture, if that helps you at all.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
Because other things have happened to me where people have hurt themselves, and I'll be like friends that I know, and I just get these white bolts of heat come out of my hands, and I don't know what that is. And it's not like I can turn it on or off. I can't turn it on and off like a tap water.
You got too much energy you're not using. Maybe it's discharge.
Well, but it's when people are not well. It's like this lady that I spoke to. She'd broken her cheekbone, and she was telling me how sore it was and everything, and I was sitting on my couch talking to her, and then my hands, I had like these little bolts, like what I got in my chest, but kind of hand ratio ones, and they kind of come out of my hands by like 10 centimeters, and my hands were hot. They were so hot, and all I wanted to do was get in my car and go and see her and put this energy on her face, but I just thought I can't do that because they'll think I'm a freak.
Definitely, have you ever heard about Reiki healing? There are Reiki healing courses that you can take, and they can guide you how to use these things, because
that mountain chick was doing that. The mountain chick in here was doing that.
Who's that?
The one from Mountain.
Charmaine, but her name is Charmin on here.
All right. Yeah, it was just really, really strange. So I don't have all the answers. I'm sure we don't all individually have the answers, but together we do.
I'm so glad we're talking about energy and all this stuff instead of the conversation we had before. Oh my God, so good to hear.
Yeah, but what do you expect with a name like this?
What did you say? What do you expect with?
What's the name of this damn chat? It's like victims or no COVID vaccines, aka bioweapons.
Well, we have to get ourselves here, and that's the first step, right? Like, who's against the vaccines? Okay, and now let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
And what I noticed is like when we're having these conversations, I'm noticing like other people pop in, and what I think it is they like it resonates with certain people that are under the same understanding, and then they'll speak out.
Yeah.
Charming wanted to say something.
Oh, I called her.
Okay, she's not answering anyway.
I didn't know what to say her name was. Are you there? She's gone.
Yeah, but W, you should
she's
really
cooking.
look to...
She's cooking.
Cooking.
Yeah.
Very good. So I'll send this book to everyone, I guess. Really good one. It was good for me.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Some dude said he's going to give it to me if he didn't die, and he died. So I looked for it myself.
Yeah, send it over.
Spiritual things. I come, like, my religion is called Druze, and they believe in reincarnation. We have this this infests our community. Every second guy is reincarnated, and he knows his family from the previous life and stuff like this. I don't know if this resonates with anybody here, but...
Yeah, I've got a post-life regression book here that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think this is the basic thing where you believe that your body is not the whole thing and your soul is just limitless, and regardless if you believe in reincarnation per se, but believing in the soul and believing that we're more and believing in like love is the answer, just loving everybody and wanting good for everybody. I think W was talking about finding her essence, and now in these groups, and she feels that she's getting closer to that. And other people who talked here, we're all talking about the same thing, but in different words. And this is just bringing that good in us, each one of us, and just contributing it to others, because living alone, and doesn't matter what you have and what you don't have, this is nothing comparing to having community around you where you can contribute to them and they can contribute to you. This is the essence of life. What good you give. That's what I found. I don't know about your life experiences, but that's what I believe in. That's what helped me, actually.
I agree with you, and I have a question. So you know how they're going around. All right, so I agree the same way, and I believe that these religions, even though they're doing what the bad people are doing, what the darks are doing, I don't know how to say them without it sounding as if you were against religion. I'm not against it, but what I believe with the way like the American frontline doctors are going to each church all over the country, and a couple of things that they were saying, I feel like that's gonna enable the continuation of the sleeping, right? At the same time, though, at the very same time, I'm having this like battle of correlating it to the same thing. So the law of attraction, the mind over matter, this soul, all these things are, just like you said, just another way of saying the same thing. But when we have everybody in this emotional state, like when certain people are in the emotional state and don't want to accept it, I'm trying to find like how can we devise a way to remove that like emotional attachment from it, because I feel like what you said is true. Like it is all the same thing. We know, us right here know it's all the same thing. But if they stay in the indoctrinated like way, because what I believe is they want to go somewhere else that is perfect, when I believe here is perfect. And the only reason I say that is because my entire life I said I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. This is hell. When I leave here, I'm going to heaven. And I wasn't even religious. But once I learned all these things, I realized that this could be, you know, the good, and that's why they all have, all the evil people that are ruling and doing what they're doing, they know that. They literally know that. But if I can't get somebody to understand, to remove that emotional connection to it, and like, how can we, you got any ideas?
Oh, I was listening.
What's the emotional connection? What are you talking about with that? I mean,
like this, like if I say to somebody, there's a couple of people in the group who I really appreciate deeply, and all the biblical knowledge he has, like he's a vast, massive amount of knowledge, and I totally resonate with him and appreciate, right? But sometimes there's other people that will get offended, right? If you feel like you're going against their religion, but they don't know that you're not. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not against, and I believed in the same thing. So how do I navigate that with somebody when I know that's what they're feeling and that's not what I'm feeling?
That's really hard when you're more universal in your point of view.
well, I get around that. When I talk to people like that, I go, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what faith you have. It doesn't matter what God you worship. The fact of the matter is, you're praying for something that is bigger and more divine than what you are.
That's what I mean.
So,
like, I know that and I say that, but when I say it to them, they're the one who get in the defensive mode. Like, how do I break that defensive mode?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can. Because when you get people like that who are just so loyal to, it's like you're loyal to your brand, right? You're loyal to the brand. The brand is the faith, and they're loyal to that, and you're not going to be able to change that. So what I think you should do is go, yeah, you're on that page, and I can see that why you're on that page, and I'm just on a different page.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I want to have them stay in the. I want them to.
It doesn't matter if they're staying there. That's the thing. You can't change other people. It doesn't matter if they want to stay in there. It doesn't matter if they think that, Catholicism is better than Hinduism or Hindu. Like, it doesn't matter that they want to stay on their brand. You just want to hope that their journey gets them where they need to be.
I don't know how they can have certain religion, maybe else, I guess.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I want them to stay on their brand, right? But how do like, you, I don't know, it's like you lay down the different lines. You just can't, that's it.
Not only that, people are not ready. You can't. If you were not ready to be in this chat room, you wouldn't be here. Nobody would be here if they're not ready. No one
You
can.
can tell when someone isn't ready because they're instantly rejected and stuff like that.
You know what else sometimes is when you talk to people and they get defensive about stuff, you hit the nerve.
Exactly what I wanted to say. Yeah. Like, I'm not being defensive at all.
Yeah, you always, you know what? You always know when you've spoken the truth because we're all truth speakers here, and I can say that because we all accept each other's differences of opinion. We're all moving forward together. It's just an amazing thing. But when you hit the nerve with someone, it doesn't matter what it is, religion, life, whatever, and they storm out or they get defensive. That is the absolute sign that that's something within themselves that they haven't accepted within themselves. That's the best thing I can do. When I piss someone off, and I do that a lot because I say shit to people that they don't want to hear, and I don't say it in a bad way. You know what? I never tried to change someone else's opinion because you can't. But what you can do is ask the question. And when you ask the right questions, you'll get the defense, and then you know you've asked the right questions.
Yeah, so that's how you do it. That's what it is, because I think I attribute it to like this, or I'm a Taurus, so I'm a lover, and I want to save people, so it's like I gotta try not to save everybody and just focus on myself.
Well, that's not entirely true. You can influence people and you can want to help people, but you can't change how that person. You can't change how somebody wants to decide to do something.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to change. So
you can't.
I'm not trying to change.
There's a there's a way to do this. There's a way to approach that. But it's like a slippery slope, right? There's a very narrow path you have to follow through their psychology to get them to the point where they will actually consider the idea that you're trying to put across to them.
Yeah.
And there's a way to learn that.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, Luke. Yeah.
That's the main thing I try to teach people.
Yeah, but some people they don't want to hear it. You know, I had a friend. She was like telling me how many hundreds of dollars she was spending on these supplements because she was going on a diet, blah 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 blah, all about the diet and stuff. And I kind of looked over at her and I thought, oh my God, that's just noise that's coming out of her mouth. And I looked at her and I said, so, at what point in your life did you start to put on weight? And she just looked at me and I said, and what was the trauma around that time of your life when you started to eat for comfort? And she just looked at me and I said, you know in yourself that all these supplements you're going to put down your throat is only going to be a short-term thing. I said, until you look back and realize at why you started comfort eating and whatever trauma was around that, which I don't need to know about, I said, you're never going to be able to have your body in harmony because you're suppressing whatever it is that's causing you to eat. Now, this woman, she just sat there and she went silent. And I thought, oh, fuck, here I go again. There's another one, you know, lost another friend. And she looked at me and she said, but these tablets are going to help me. And I said, well, they're going to give you a short-term solution. But I said, how sustainable is it? I said, how much do they cost? It was crazy how much these tablets cost her. And I said, and so once you finish that, I said, how have you healed yourself? You look in the mirror and you feel good. But I said, what's really going on deep down inside of you? I said, that pain is only going to go away when you face it and acknowledge it.
That's so true. That's so true.
Brilliant. So true.
So when you ask someone the right questions and they get defensive, you're on the right track. And don't second guess it. And you know what? Sometimes you can't press that any further. Sometimes just asking someone that question, you planted that seed. Now they can choose whether they want to grow that seed or not. That's up to them.
Yeah, I agree.
Not up to you.
I agree. And I noticed too. It's like people who have experienced some kind of trauma, or it's always you had to go through the dark before you could make it to the light, right?
I think I don't know if I agree with saying the dark, because that just gives the wrong connotation. I think the word dark is better swapped out with you got to feel vulnerable. Because what does the dark actually mean? The only time you think that it's the dark, it's because you don't want to shine the light on what it is you don't want to see. And if you can shine that light...
Yeah, well, that's what I meant by it.
Like we talked about before. Yeah, like you get to a point in yourself where you feel so vulnerable, you don't know if you can do it. Because that point of vulnerability is you questioning yourself whether you actually can love yourself or not. And most people are too scared that they won't be able to. But if you just take one more step and do it and feel that vulnerability, you will find so much love for your soul that you won't ever feel that darkness anymore.
Yeah.
And what you'll do, you'll see the darkness in other people, but that's them covering the vulnerability. Because they don't want anybody to see that vulnerability. They don't want anyone to see that pain. And that's why it starts.
When dealing with people, you can't always come from a point of view where, like, I know I'm right and you're wrong and you should listen to me because you don't know. Because,
That's
like,
right.
this is also not true. If you have a person in front of you in any situation, just give them your true words. Just give them about yourself, obviously. Like, tell them, okay, this is how I would have done it. This is how I see it. This is, in my world, it sounds like this and that. And if that person has any lesson to take, he would take it from your words, and he wouldn't feel that he needs to be defensive. He wouldn't feel that he needs to fight back or anything, because you didn't offend him in any way. You just gave him your truth, and that's all you need to do.
Yeah, and that's what I try. That's what I try to do, right? Like, that's exactly what I'm actually talking about right now, and I've been doing that, but I'm at a crossroads. So it's like, I'm not trying to push anything. I'm just telling the truth, and they're just not accepting it. And I'm at a point where they're taking my energy. So I have to cut myself off, which is what I've done with like multiple people, even family members.
You know what?
With the vaccine thing, what I do is with the vaccine, what I do is I just ask questions. Sort of basic questions. I don't come right out and say, it's a kill shot, even though I might believe. I'll say, why was it developed so quickly? Just plant little seeds that are accessible to the majority.
I ask people why they're forcing an injection in your arm when 99.7% of people don't die from it.
Yeah, I like to say, well, when was the last time they gave us donuts, burgers, and beer for any pharmaceutical product?
That's bullshit. Just ask the question.
But that's what I'm saying. So once you do that.
But I'm not going to say the name, but Michael's been saying to me that and I thought, no, I'm done with you all now. I'm done, and I'm so glad that I moved out of this town, because I can actually retreat to somewhere now, so I'm done with you. So that's my experience, by the way.
When you are happy with all the aspects within you, the good stuff and the bad stuff, you don't need other people around you to support you, because you find that strength in yourself.
What I'm doing is I'm forcing my...
Yeah, but when you're in a relationship with somebody and you're in a balanced relationship, and I'm not saying it's always got to be good and happy, I'm saying you take the good and the bad together, right? If you accept, yeah, okay, that's one thing. But what I'm saying is, if you find someone in your life that is your balance, they're your opposite.
100%. They mirror us. They mirror our every opposite. You're so 100%. And you know how they say, like, opposites attract? So, like,
It's true.
I just broke up like 5 years ago, and now she's engaged and whatever. But this one was different because we're still friends, and she knows that I want the best for her and all that, and she was younger, and I knew she had a lot more to learn. And I see her going down the same trajectory like I did, and all these things, but I can't do none. I gotta just let it go that way, because everybody comes into our lives, I feel like, to teach us a lesson, whether it be good or bad.
It's not a lesson. It's a reflection of who you're not, what part of yourself you're not.
Yeah, so like a lesson to yourself. You know what I mean?
Hang on the money.
What's that?
Hang on the money, what you said. It's a reflection of yourself. It's all to do
It's a
with
reflection.
all Rosalie back to yourself. All Rosalie. And I've done a little bit of work on myself, but it's only recently, now I'm on my own, I'm starting to have to look at myself now. I've got no other choice. Sorry if I come across as a bit shouty and angry, but my hearing's not great at the moment. But yeah, I'm having to look at myself. I have no choice. So
Yeah,
it is what it is,
you know
and I
what?
pray a lot.
That is going to be your best healing time now, because you are in your own isolation. You can't blame anybody else for anything that you won't acknowledge in yourself.
I was doing that a hell of a lot before. I had the blame thrower out a lot.
Yeah.
And when my mum died, you know what? The first thing that went in my head, and I love my mum dearly. We bounced off each other. So my ex said, you know, we were bees in the same pod. The first thing I said driving home after clearing her flat, which is horrific in its own thing, by the way. And I drove alone, and my voice came into my head. I'm not going to blame now. Sorry. Yeah, I know, it's sad, isn't it?
You're wise enough in yourself to know that you've already seen it. There's no one else to blame. Once you find self-acceptance, your whole outlook on everything will change. Friendships, relationships, everything. There'll be no blame anymore. Mm-hmm. Shit will happen, but you won't blame people for it like you used to.
Yeah.
You won't be able to. Not if you've really done the work on yourself. You won't be able to. It won't happen.
No, thanks for saying that. You're a very wise woman. Thank you.
But you just won't. You just can't. When you know that you're angry, you know that you've got, you like. I grew up in a really staunch Catholic family, and ever since I was at school, we're sinners and you're born under sin and all of that. And I was like, even as a kid, I thought to myself, how can I be a sinner when I'm a baby? I used to think about that at school, and they used to say, the only people that are perfect, there's no one perfect. We're all sinners. And I turned around to my mum one day and I said, I was really little, I said, you know what, Mum? We are perfect. And she said, why do you say that? And I said, because we are imperfect humans, which makes us perfect. Because everyone thinks perfection is about not having wrong. How the hell are you going to learn if you don't challenge yourself? You never will. People around you in your life, all the people that challenge you, they're the people that make you grow. They're the people that rile you up. They're the people that stir something inside of you. Whether it doesn't matter what attitude you have towards them, whether you hate them or not, they still make you grow. And people that support you too much, they never make you grow because you're too comfortable. You never push your boundaries with them or anything. How bloody boring is that? When you stop growing. Sometimes I look at this whole COVID thing and I think, the people that are jabbing, doing the jab all the time, like, they're not growing. They're not even asking. They're not even curious. They feel support.
They're going back to being like a freaking possum or something. for all the reincarnation people, they're going back to being like, a possum or an echidna or whatever animals you have there.
Hey, bloody lemmings. They're bloody lemmings.
Like adults, I don't even think, I don't know about what you guys have experienced, but when I look at people that have the vaccine, I'm not sure if they're actually conscious anymore. Like, it feels like their soul has kind of left.
That's what I was going to do. Look for videos of people who've had it, like before and after videos.
Like, people are saying,
left the leg thing or dragging leg.
Well, that's what I was saying with the experience I had with
there
me.
was a guy who said that.
I was wondering.
There was a guy who got the shot and he said, I feel like my soul left my body.
Like I was wondering,
Wow.
I was wondering if both of those are contributing. You know what I mean? Like the thing that happened to me, if they lost that battle, right? Or with the COVID, if that's exactly what it's attacking too.
Yeah, what
People are
exactly?
saying they're not the same person after they got the jab. Like,
Mediums have said
Like
I have to put something, yeah. And
mediums
like-
have said they have seen this before.